Every teacher has different methods and uses different tools to teach their class. We interviewed Mrs. Erdmann, or Frau Erdmann, to ask her about a few things in her classroom that she sees as essential to her teaching style. These are 6 things Mrs. Erdmann can't teach without.
One of the first things that if you meet me, you'll learn about is this birthday mushroom. So in Germany, strangely, this mushroom in particular, the one with the spots, the toadstool mushroom that's dangerous and poisonous, is actually a symbol of good luck. And one of the trips to Germany a few years ago, I got this in a souvenir shop. And what I like to do is we make a big deal about people's birthday. There's no birthday today, but normally their name goes on my board, and we sing to them, and then this little guy sits on their desk for the day. So, second thing I like to use in class a lot are balls. Sometimes it's for teams, sometimes each team gets a different ball, but actually a lot of the time it's to just keep people on their toes because they don't know if they're going to be called upon to catch the ball, and it might not be by me. It could be that another classmate calls on somebody to call on somebody. I feel like that keeps people engaged a lot and keeps us kind of active. So, the yellow and red fly swatters are an idea that I stole from a teacher a long time ago who, at that point, we only had projectors in school, the old school projectors where we would actually slap something on the projector. She would always put like vocab lists, but they would be randomly positioned around the projector, and then she'd have teams slap different vocab words as they were just learning them. I took that over from her, and in different ways we've modified that so that things could be slapped on the board as like a review game. And actually the fly swatters have turned into a way of learning a certain type of verb in German. So like the shape of the fly swatter helps students conceptualize verb conjugations. So this bell was given to me a number of years ago by Miss McAllergy. She gave each one of us in the World Language Department a bell, and I think at that point it was more just so that we could like quiet a large crowd, and the students that hear this regularly, you'll know exactly who you are, right? You hear that sound and you know that I want the students' attention. But the cool thing about this is it has a duck head, and within the first 4 weeks of learning German, the duck is used right away because we learn a type of verb that the verb conjugations are called duck conjugations, or ducks conjugations, so everybody knows that I have the duck bell. These tools everyone sees, but really only the upper level class understands these. And years ago, French and Spanish and German students in the upper level class would sign a pledge that they would never deviate from the target language in class, that they'd always speak French in the upper level French class, or always speak German in the upper level German class. And I always thought that the pledge is something that the students were going to break anyway. So rather than signing a pledge that everyone would break, I decided to do incentives. So the incentive is that I have a jar full of marbles, that if students are constantly in the language and are participating, the appointed Murmelmeister, the marble master, can take from my jar and fill the class's jar with, and you see that my upper level class is doing pretty well right now, that eventually when this jar is full, that they get a party in German class. The funny thing about these jars though is over the years they have a tendency to break, so they're now currently plastic, but yet the current Murmelmeister, who will remain nameless, the creator of this video, has broken it and does owe me a new jar before he graduates. So last but not least, the thing that in my tools of teaching that I feel like I can't quite live without because it's kind of become like a little bit of a legacy in my classroom is my ceiling, or die Decke as everybody knows it. And the ceiling came about as an idea because I too was in a German program in high school, and I too had the same German teacher throughout high school, and we got to know her quite well to the point where we felt like we were family, and when we graduated we kind of wanted to leave our mark on her or the classroom. And in my school we were allowed to paint the blocks of the wall, and with Mr. Cosgrove's permission I've gotten permission so that students can basically repaint my ceiling. And the criteria is that you have to have had 4 years of world language in high school, so it's anybody graduating with German 4 honors or higher. And what I like the students to sign is, obviously they've signed in German, but I want them to sign something that is like a really good memory from our class. So something that they that they thought was really funny, or was a memorable moment, or like where they messed up, or the class had a lot of fun on their account. And so there are things that date back to my second year. I hadn't thought to ask Mr. Cosgrove for the ceiling tiles my first year, but they date back to my second year teaching here, and everyone's represented. And like I said, I look up and I've got their names, and I've got that nice moment. And those are the things when you're having a hard day that make you want to keep doing what you're doing, because you realize how many lives have been positively impacted by your teaching and you being there, and